Greetings, beloved human family, ascended masters, friends on the way, on the spiritual ascension path. I came to again today to continue to discuss certain aspects. For we are moving into this new era, this new era of light, and so it will be, in a sense, the end of the Homo sapien. The Homo sapien will disappear to leave place for the Homo galacticus, the Homo luminous, the Homo universalis, the man that is galactic, that is light, that is universal. For that, there is all dimensions, all densities of experience are all existing, coexisting as one within the infinite realm. Although they're stuck on top of each other like layers, yet it's for within the infinity there is no separation. But yet, anybody that lives in any density is only believes that his own density is primal reality, is the truth, and so those realities is like we're living in third and fourth dimension. We live in third dimension. We believe all that is real is the physical, sensorial experience. Once we move into the fourth dimension, we realize there is more. There is a world of energy that is connected to this world of physicality. And then once we move into the fifth dimension, we come to realize this connecting point. It's the nirvana of existence, the eternal bliss and joy and freedom that we seek to achieve. We can see all the lower dimension, the third and fourth dimension, as an extension of ourselves, but we are no longer locked into this survival, this necessity to live in physicality, although there is still physicality in the fifth dimension. And so it is what we need is to allow our consciousness to raise into to find this timeless point of connection, this timeless this space of freedom, in order to integrate that slowly but surely. And so for all exists within the light. You have to trust the light. The light is intelligent. Let the light work within you. Make friend with the light, and light and love. Love is the key. You are love. You are the key. You are the door. Allow yourself to let the light show you the way. And by practicing spiritual detachment, it is quite important. For God waits in your heart. God is always waiting in our heart for us to discover. For we've been looking for all over the world this holy grail in this country, in that cavern, in that planet, well, not yet in other planets, but we're looking for all over outside. Or even when you see a lot of people discussing the shift, is about all the extraterrestrials coming from outside, or it will be the Christ descending, but the true essence of the transformation has to come from within first. The connection is internal. For all that we ever seek is within ourselves. And so for God is oneness and is one with you. There is nothing you can do to separate yourself from God. It's just the consciousness. We've been creating layers and layers of conditioning that we have to return from there to here, to return to the heart. For it is the heart that love is, and love is all. Love is not an action. Love is silent. Love is permanent. Love is to be grateful that you reconnect to love, this knowledge of being in the love. And so, because there is a lot of things that are going to be coming up to the surface, or a lot of darker things. Most of the darker souls are being evacuated. They are beyond redemption. They will never be allowed to return to this planet. And so let them go, and do not even look at them. Let them go. Just focus on this light that is your point of freedom. There's only one light, and it's the same light for everybody. And so. Because once we become contemplative, it's like observing this show of life from a balcony. But when we're fighting in duality, it's like we're in the arena, where it's like we have to always fight. So it's about removing ourselves from the duality principle and go sit and be contemplative, and then you respond. You can always you do whatever you call from within. The essence is that we need to learn. Every day we need to learn something new, something that should be understood. It should be mandatory to learn from the cradle to the grave, from birth to death. There is no time that we do not need to learn everything. For the more we do not know, the more we can learn. It's like if knowledge was a circle, or we know is inside the circle, what we do not know is the outer circle. But the more our knowledge grows, the more ignorance grows, until the point where we have no more knowledge, where everything is ignorance, and then we can receive all things. For God is within the void. He knows all, but yet is always in the emptiness of the possibility. And so So when those darker things will come up, it's good to stay calm, not to take side, to love yourself, to love others, to love life. And when you hold the stillness and this peace inside of you, it is more powerful to the assistance of the planet than any sort of dualistic action. For it's when we want to come from love and come from light, come from inclusion, come from lucidity as well, to be lucid in relationship to what serves and what does not serve, to transmute what is dark, to assist what is good, and to differentiate between the two. For it is a Stoic principle, but it's also part of the wisdom of ancient Egypt. For we want to keep the door open. When we hold that peace, that stillness, it is like we keep a door open for anybody that comes in contact with us to utilize this vertical access portal, or to hold a frequency. This is very, very useful. And so for passive resistance, it's much better than frontal confrontation and with anything. So it's far more enjoyable for everybody, whether they believe any human beings, any soul, whether they believe in God or not, they will have to face God at some point and to face themselves. So it's no use for judging or condemning, for they will all have to face themselves. And God is omniscient. He knows all things, he remembers all things, and yet he's merciful. He understands when he punishes the soul, he punishes himself within the soul. So there is a great deal of we have to trust that, and that there is a higher, to allow this highest part to be submissive to that higher part, that highest part that is the I Am presence and the Creator, the Father. For the I Am presence is an extension of the Father, but it's such a beyond it's a divinity that is we are eager for it exists within the heart. But most of my information, when my I Am presence communicated, sometimes it shows me things within, often shows me things within, but it always communicates from below, and the information always comes from above, and I'm receiving it below. I'm going to pull a few cards from this deck of. From this deck of Casanova. For the situation is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is oppression here. Is playing cards. Is playing cards, and so here it is. In the general fashion here, it seems pretty fun, he's playing cards, he's making money playing cards, but in essence it's like you do not want to do things to please others. You want to take care of yourself first, otherwise you get oppressed, because you can never satisfy all the needs of everybody else. So you want to satisfy your own needs, and then you will be able to expand to others. And when you let go of the oppression, you find clarity, you find the Ace of Swords, we find this brilliance, the brilliant mind, the fifth dimension, the gamma ray inspiration that give us those brilliant ideas and brilliant thoughts. What goes around this situation is it's called the Knave of Swords here, and it's basically about being able to come out of the walls, to come out of the prison, to come out. But when we break the wall, we have this power, this power of will to move out of the walls. But we want to move out. When we break the wall, we have to move out, otherwise the ceiling may fall on our head. So it's very much about breaking free from the conditioning of the past. What we see in our conscious mind that will unfold is the Knight of Chalice, the Knight of Cup, and so it is about fulfilling our sexual desires, to become integrated within, to understand we are sexual beings. We need to fulfill our sexual passion in the best possible way. So it's like sexuality is like a lake. You always, if you drink from the top of the lake, everything is fine. It's when you dive in and you go into the mud on the bottom, then it's no longer. So it's about being discerning, but also to have this desire to fulfill those desires and those passions. In the subconscious, the past is the tower. All those things have been shaking off. All those things we've changed, we've been transformed. All the things that were not aligned with our new reality has been shaken off, and it's been very difficult. We've been through this dark night of the soul. We've traversed the circles of hell. Now we see the light in purgatory, as in Dante, the Divine Comedy of Dante. We have to accept, to eliminate all the fourth dimensional traumas and debris. For when we live in the third dimension, we have to pass through the lower fourth dimension, which is the darker aspect of the dreams and emotions. in order to emerge into the higher, more pleasant dream and more. And now, the situation that is now is the Six of Cups. It's about joy. It's about reunion. It's about finding old friends. It's about soulmates. It's about children. It's about being as a child, to enjoy life as a child. What's coming up in the near future is the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is really much the card of intuition. It is she said that not all things can be revealed all at once, but things will unfold. And so just trust yourself, trust this power. Call on the Great Mother, call on Isis and Sophia, or whichever divine woman femininity, to assist you in developing both because the emotional intelligence has to be developed in relation as well as the logical mind. Both brain needs to function in harmony, not to have one of the brain that is dominant. What we are in this situation, our strength is logic, it is science. So we do have to be logical. We still have to be logical. We have to be aligned with understanding, with truth, that whatever works for us. Because the world around us reflects us, is materialism. It is the ego that dominates. It is the devil here. The devil is the ego. It is the ignorance. It is the darker side of ourselves that dominate. We cannot let the ego dominate us. We want to accept that the ego stand on our left shoulder and be contemplative of the process. So do not let the darker aspect of life for what's important to do this meditation, because in the day when we live our life in this world, actually right now more than ever, is that we're always bombarded with negative energy, whether it comes from the fear of the media or the electromagnetic, or so it's like the body is constantly penetrated with darker energy. So when we do meditation, it's the time where we turn our energy, our essence within, and so it's like if you can imagine, the body is like a castle, and we reinforce the doors. So the enemy, if we do enough meditation, when we come in contact with negative energy, it cannot penetrate us because we have enough light within. What we have inside as inner emotion, our hopes and fear, is the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is the seer, is the one who has to see the magic, to understand the power, to see behind the veil, to regain to become a mystic, to find this mystic connection that shows us the way to a more magical experience of life. And the outcome is nothing short of the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Chalice. And so the Ten of Chalice is satiety, it's happiness, it's joy, it's freedom, it's all the wonderful things that we've ever wanted. It's a total fulfillment. Family, home, business, everything can be fulfilled within those times. There is a great freedom for it's always the darkest right before the dawn. So do not let yourself be distracted by the temporary chaos that is going on. And just stay optimistic and positive and focus on your inner self. I wanted to also discuss briefly a scientific aspect of things, is that the idea that the whole physical material universe, what we call the physical, the particles, the atoms and the molecules that exist, that we call real, universe, is constantly disintegrating and rematerializing, but the God speed, what we call God speed. And some of the higher councils of the Pleiades, for higher beings have higher sciences, they have come to this number, which is 4 quadrillions of every second. There is the universe dissolves every 4 quadrillions of a second. So it's 4 billions millions of time every second. And so in my meditation, God confirmed that to me, and not only that, He showed me that between each frame there is the presence of God that is inserted between each frame, because it is God within that makes the rematerialization possible. So we believe this is solid, but every second there is 4 billion times millions. 4 quadrillion times, there is this disintegration, everything vanishes and everything reappears. So we have all that many opportunities to change everything as we connect to our God self. We can freeze time and change, create new things. So that was quite interesting, that we always move between existence and non-existence. We actually just, so eventually we'll be able to utilize that to create, to manifest a life that is so much more free through this understanding of this knowledge of of certain of those truths will get us some amazing power to do amazing things that will look magical to. Actually, it is spiritual science, not magic, but it will appear magical to everybody else. It's all coming to a line. It's coming closer. Behind me is a portrait of someone who's really meditating. He's got his upper heart and he's meditating. He's turning within to the heart and his power center. And he's got this blue cloud around his head. So he's really trying to eliminate all that is dark around, all the confusion of the outside, to turn within. I don't know if you can see it. It will be nicely framed. And this is a painting about the stars, the teachers of the light. For the stars are the light givers. They are the representative of God. For they are like God. They are the giver. They give us light. They give us heat. They give us everything we have. We have because of our own sun. If the sun wasn't here, the earth couldn't. It would be really hard for the earth for the earth as her own light. And she could eventually, in the fifth dimension, she could live without. But in the future, we'll have two suns. We'll have a blue and golden sun. So the night will be gone. There will be no more full night. But here it is about the great central sun and the family of light. For once we move into the higher planes, we'll be connected to millions of suns, and we'll be able to draw on power. We can want to call on the sun to always recharge our energy. We're missing the sun as well. For right now, here in France, in Normandy, there was a temperature drop. It feels like winter is coming. It's like ooh, for some reason, it's like we lost. 10, 12 degrees Celsius in a day. So I sing a song that talks about the coming winter. It goes like this. All the leaves are brown, and the sky is grey, I've been for a walk, on a winter's day, I'll be safe and warm, if I was in LA, California dream, on such a winter's day. I stopped into a church, I passed along the way. Oh, I got down on my knees, and I pretend to pray. You know the preacher likes the cold, he knows I'm gonna stay, California dream, on such a winter's day. Well, it's not the winter, for summer is here, but it feels like winter today here, and so I felt like through this confinement we lost the whole summer and we moved right into winter. Hopefully the time for the nature of the weather is to change. It's to remind us that we've slowed down the warming of the climate a little bit through the much less pollution. So the card of the day is the 8 of Gabrielle. She's flying in the sky with all those beautiful birds. Flying in the sky, and they say overwhelming activity. The result will not be long in coming. To communicate is essential, so it is time to communicate. My card over there was the action, so I'm not really sure what is exactly I need to be doing. I'm going to meditate and act upon whatever guidance I receive. Well, I hope this was interesting for you. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.